And joining us now, Eric Fingerhut, the president and CEO of the Jewish Federations of North America. Eric, thanks so much for joining us. I want to first of all get your thoughts, your reaction to this horrifying attack on these two young people just outside the Capitol Jewish Museum here in Washington.
Well, unfortunately, Wolf, what we witnessed yesterday, experienced, which is so awful and traumatic, is but yet another example in this growing problem of domestic terrorism, of which the Jewish community is the target. They clearly targeted a Jewish institution where a Jewish crowd would be, whether they knew specifically these were embassy employees or not, we don't know. But he clearly targeted this Jewish institution. And of course, we have Jewish institutions and gatherings like this every night in every community all around the county. And the incitement that is leading to this terrorism and then the terrorism itself is something that simply has to be tackled as the crisis in America that it is. You know, our Jewish communities, as always, are responding by caring for the victims and coming together. We have been working on our own security for years, ever since the Tree of Life shootings in 2018. We've built security programs in every community. We've spent hundreds of millions of dollars, 10 times increasing the private philanthropy and cost of security. But this is a national crisis, and we need the focus to be of the federal government and on this national crisis so that we can protect our community and all communities.
You know, the cruel irony here, too, is that this was an interfaith event that talked about aid for Gaza. What's your reaction to that?
Well, what we know is that that the incitement, the language, you know, look, whether it's the encampments on campus or in our case, we've seen city council meetings disrupted and school board meetings disrupted and other civic centers spaces disrupted, and harassment and the language of incitement obviously helps contribute to this. We know that the incitement on the internet helps contribute to this as well. So it doesn't bear any relationship to what's actually happening or the facts on the ground. This is pure incitement to hatred, and sooner or later it leads to violence. There have been dozens of these incidents. Thank God many of them are discovered and are stopped. But this really is a crisis. And when you have literally the threat of violence, when a Jewish community wants to gather together and they have to take these extraordinary measures for security to protect themselves, and even then something like this can happen. Really, we have a crisis that must be addressed. All of our Jewish community leaders are working together. We need support from the federal government. The costs of bearing this security burden, the personnel, the security is for camps and day schools and preschools and synagogues is just overwhelming. Our FBI has to be empowered, like this is the war that it actually is, and resourced. You know, we spend $1 trillion in our defense budget to fight wars overseas. We need to, and terrorism overseas. We need to have an equal effort in our fight against terrorism here at home, and our local law enforcement needs help so that they can patrol these institutions and protect these institutions in a way that unfortunately we need to have right now. And we all have to stand up and not say that any of this inciting language is okay. It is not okay. It has to stop now. And everyone in our community, not just the Jewish community, has to play a role in saying enough is enough.
How would you describe then what you just laid out, that the threat level in the Jewish community right now?
Well, I would say that we understand. I mean, this isn't about knowing that there is a specific person threatening somebody else. If you wait for that to happen, then we've already we're all going to suffer from the incidents. We have to understand that the culture that has been created of incitement in public spaces in America and on the internet is inevitably going to cause some people who are part of different extremist organizations to be activated and to take these kinds of actions. So we have to stop the incitement at its source, but we also because we know that that's a very difficult challenge to do completely and totally. We must have the kind of law enforcement at the federal and local level, and we must have the kind of security support that will protect our community, because otherwise people will not continue to feel safe to participate in Jewish life. And we're doing the very best we can. Every Jewish federation, every community has taken responsibility for security. They've built community security initiatives. We have national support from Secure Community Network and other groups that we support. And every synagogue, every day school is spending inordinate amounts of money, JCCs, on security. But at the end of the day, it is the government's responsibility to protect its citizens in its places of worship, its places of communal gathering, and certainly in when they choose to come together as a faith-based community. And so we need that kind of attention and that kind of help. We're obviously heartened to hear the comments from the president, from members of Congress and others, but we need really strong action.
Eric Fingerhut, the president and CEO of the Jewish Federations of North America, thanks so much for joining us.